Welcome to our channel, ladies and gentlemen. Some things are not just adding up. Even the people who initiated and are perpetuating them understand deep down their hearts that they are not working. Yesterday, the government rushed through the office of the DCI to go and quell tension at the Quarry dump site. And they told us that they were linking the deaths of the bodies that were found in that quarry to some cult or a serial killer or something. Now, barely 24 hours after that statement that was made very suspiciously, someone has set that place on fire. And it is very suspicious that place has been very quiet for so long. Then what is the coincidence that all of a sudden, after the bodies were found, then now it is being set on fire? I want us to go straight to what Gabriel Good is telling us. Gabriel is saying, breaking news, retweet to expose the government. Kware dump site has been set on fire, yet all the bodies have not yet been recovered. We do not have a country here. Ladies and gentlemen, this is happening at a time when the government is claiming that they have apprehended the suspected serial killer that is responsible for the bodies that were found at that site. Remember, they have not completed retrieving all the bodies, and someone goes and sets that place on fire. And perhaps for us to understand, to help us understand exactly what is happening in that site, I want us to listen to what someone is saying here because he's giving us an insight into the suspicion of what is happening. This is what someone is saying. Imagine you are a serial killer, you killed over 20 people and have been dumping them at Quarry and getting away with it. You reside close to the dump site and can see the police operation on the site. But you wake up and go to dump another body there. You have neighbors, but they can't hear you cutting bodies. You have a panga, but the bodies you dump have been cut with a butcher's saw. You have time to add stone to some of the sacks. You carry fresh bodies, but no blood can be spotted even by neighbors. It's a PR stunt. This person is simply trying to add his sentiments that this is all choreographed to ensure that they hide evidence. You know, when it catches my attention and it surprises me. What was the rush to set this site on fire? And maybe the question that we want to ask, who has set this site on fire? To answer that question, ladies and gentlemen, let us ask ourselves a few questions. Number one, the moment the bodies were found in that dump site or wherever it is in that quarry, that place should have been declared a crime scene. And what that means that it should have been cordoned. You know what a crime scene is? I saw the police trying to use tear gas and they were chasing people away under the guise that this is a crime scene. Now, the fact that they had declared it a crime scene, it was supposed to be under 24 surveillance of the government. So when you tell us that someone went and set that place ablaze, the inferno could have only been started by the government itself because they chased away people. They have been shooting live bullets on the air and they have been taking care of that place. So who else can do this? Because it will be the same thing. If it is not the government, then who did? Who set that place on fire? Where was the government? Where was the police? Just like someone is now asking, you have a person who dumps more than 20 bodies in that place, not once, not twice. He has time to add weight using some stone. He has time to include two bodies in one sack. There is no blood that is seen there. Now they have come up with this narrative that this must have been a serial killer. They are telling us that they were women. Who knows that they were only women? Because now this is an IS, if you ask me. that is trying to drive us to imagine that these are not bodies that were dumped or were killed and are being linked to the Githurai massacre. Yesterday, when the DCI spoke, they told us that they are narrowing down to a serial killer, to a cultist, or some rogue doctor. But he was leaving out the possibility that this could have been bodies killed during protest. Who told him that that could have not been a field of study? Why couldn't he just say that we're also looking at a possibility that these bodies would have been killed during that Mandamano massacre? And this simply means one thing: they have set this place ablaze to conceal evidence. Number one, to conceal the fact that these bodies were not only women. And I can assure you, because what they are now trying to tell us, they know that in a few months ago, we had some bodies of women who were being killed in some heinous acts. And they want us to believe that this is what is happening. So they want to ensure that we believe these are women. Number two, they are concealing the number of the bodies that are inside that dumping site, because they know the numbers could have been many more. And they don't want to be caught with their hands in the cookie jar. They don't want to be caught with their pants down. William Ruto had come and was asking people, show me the evidence. He knew very well that they had concealed the evidence, if at all these bodies were killed by the police. And as they do this, it only means one thing: that they are trying to protect the people who are responsible for the killings. We cannot exonerate the police. We have seen them even during the demonstrations of Azimio protest. They killed people. They have been chest thumping. We know of serial killers. We know the police who are very happy when they kill. We saw them, how they throw tear gas or live bullets at journalists, at innocent demonstrators. And so we cannot separate the killings from them. That we know. Sometimes you want to give William Ruto the benefit of doubt. I know he's very cunning, he's a liar, but sometimes you would want to sit down and think, okay, let us try to give him the benefit of doubt. Then you come up with such a thing that this place has been set on inferno. Really? How do you even want to forgive William Ruto? How do you even want to engage in dialogue when such things are happening? Because obviously, this is somebody who feels that people are fools. Even if these bodies were not killed by the police and you set this place on fire, then who wants to listen to you? Who do you want to convince and persuade that you're not the one? This is very sad. So you want to tell us that some bodies have been killed, they've been dumped, and the parents or the sisters or the whoever, their relatives will not see these bodies. They will be turned into ashes. We don't have a country. We have condescended too low. And with this, William Ruto will not convince us that he wants to turn this country around. It is not just about the resignation of the IG. It is not about dissolving the cabinet. It is not just about giving us a new with a cabinet that represents all ethnic groups. It is about justice, because if we do not do justice to the people who have been killed, then it will all be in vain. What is the need of having a new cabinet when some people are killed and they are burnt to ashes? Shame on us as a country.